one sitting here off of eBay or something for 200, 300 bucks, whatever. But it's an old used piece of gear. But yeah, no, they were way less priced.
Oh yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, I like the FTM 400 because it's got the two VFOs and the two volume controls, so you can monitor both at the same time. You know, if you don't want to hear one, you just turn the other one down. And it's got APRS and all that cool stuff. It does have system fusion, whoop-de-doo. I'm not sold on the Yaesu system fusion, but it's there if people are interested in it.
See, and for me, the APRS, all those extra functions they put into it, I have no need for. Fusion, there's no fusion repeaters down here, in my neighborhood anyways. It's all DMR, there's no D-Star. They're very few and far between. You get a hotspot, you build a hotspot, you can use all the digital modes. The APRS, never ever going to use in my lifetime. But look, I looked at that radio for years, man. Since it first came out, the 400. I'm like, no. Hey, listen, I want a 9700 to sit here on top of my 7300, but I ain't gonna spend the money, man. It ain't worth it. I got Motorola, I got Yaesu, I got multiple Motorola's, man. HTs and mobiles. There's no way I'm gonna get a 9700.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I originally bought it just 7300, 9700 combo, but I'm like, damn, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to lay out, you know, for that.
Is that radio talking the same time?
991 Alpha from Yaesu. Yeah, it has it all. It has UHF, VHF, and EHF, you know, so there's a lot less dollars coming out of my wallet to start up for sure. And as far as you're right about APRS, I'm not going to use it. I have it set up. But, you know, if an emergency happens and you need to be located, APRS is an easy, smart move.
Yeah, Ragchew. And look, I'll never use those. So I have dedicated UHF, VHF radios here in the shack on their own antenna, separate radios, separate amplifiers, separate meters, one antenna. That's the way I'm going to go. And the 9700 for $1,700, you're crazy. If it was $1,000, I would have already bought it.
There you go.
That's insane. That's a lot of money. Yeah, that's what I use my 991 Alpha for, man. 2 meter, 70 centimeter. I got a Diamond X300 up there on it, and I even got a what the heck is that thing? The Anytone. The Anytone, 50-watt mobile. I got that hooked up as well that I can use for DMR.
Oh yeah, that's good radio too. For $1,700, man, no way. If it was $1,000, I'd already have it. And yeah, no, I've already got so many mobile radios with the power supplies. I'll just run these. And listen, I'm running a 5550 Motorola with a foot pedal for push to talk. I wired it into the back end of the radio. The same audio gear I'm talking on this radio, I just pan right and I'm talking on that on UHF or VHF. And I'm not even going to spend that kind of money.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I got a nice Diamond 510 up about 30 feet, man. This thing's working great.
Yeah, I have the same thing, X510.
Yeah, and they both sound great.
What do you guys think of the Tram 1481?
I had one.
Tram 1481? That's like a police antenna.
So I was checking it on VHF, UHF, careful what you need. That's the antenna you have, Mark, the black one. That's a Tram.
Okay. Old Dave down there in Coral Springs, what is that antenna is he on?
I want a Tram, the same antenna you have. You got that black Tram. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah, that's working. 17 foot.
The 81, right? Not the 80 monoband.
Yeah, the 81 is dual band, or it's 17 feet. I used the word one.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I had the Tram monoband for VHF, 1480, I think it was. I picked it up down at Mike's. That was my first VHF antenna. And, Yeah, you definitely need to make sure that joint is sealed with some silicone or something like that, or some of that silicone tape. Just don't let water get into it. Honestly, my diamonds were way better. The Diamond X510 twice the money or whatever, but yeah, the tram antennas, I did not like mine. I took it down, gave it away, or threw it in the trash. I can't remember. I didn't run it for very long, man.
It was in the trash, probably.
You didn't like it? I didn't know. I thought they were like clones of each other, but anyway, I just ordered. I don't run a lot of expensive gear here. I'm just running 7300 right now. This is just the tuner, the amplifier's off, and 560 foot loop.
Yeah, no worries, man. Then listen, we all have money restraints and all that. No, I ran one, but the monoband VHF. I swapped it out with a Diamond monoband VHF. The Diamond was way better. But all I gotta say to you is when you assemble it, get some silicone, some clear silicone, or some of that silicone tape, and tape up that joint so no water gets in there.
Yeah, I read all the reviews. I'm gonna use silicone tape and silicone and electrical tape, and the thing's never gonna get wet.
Yeah, that's the main goal, and I'm sure it'll work fine for you.
Well, my little Slim Jim made out of window line, I get about 125 miles to a good repeater.
Yeah, Ragchew, listen, I ran an Ed Fong, let me tell you, UHF, it sucked. I got an 11 element UHF Yagi from Cushcraft, and it rock and rolled.
Yeah, and that's why I went with the different antenna for VHF. I get about 125 miles. On UHF, I'm lucky to get 65 miles. I'm lucky. Sometimes I can't do it.
It's your antenna orientation.
Yeah, and UHF works better in the city.
Well, I know on UHF it's about the same as my Bofang on the front porch.
Yeah, don't forget that. If that beam's not going to work for what you're trying to do, unless you spin it and point it the other way.
It's not a beam, it's a 1481. I think it's 3 collinears, 3 5/8 stacked collinears on VHF and 5 UHF stacked collinears on UHF.
Yeah, and so you got a null on the repeater you're trying to hear, so. Alright, can you hear me up? Well, that's good.
With the window line Slim Jim, you think I have a null? I think I just have a high angle of radiation on UHF, seeing as how it's, 4/5 wave, 1.5 wavelengths or something.
Just a weak-ass antenna, man.
Yeah, just not sending a signal at the right location.
It's like getting those Ed Fongs off of eBay and putting it, in the PVC pipe and just strapping it to your gutter mount with an O-ring clamp there, with the stainless steel hose clamp.
Yeah, a little bit of puff of smoke coming out of the exhaust.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this goes. This is the first ham antenna I ever bought, so we'll see.
It'll work good for you. That tram will work good for you. Just seal it up, put it up right the first time, and put it up as high as you can, man.
Yeah, well, I'm in a good location. I got a great location here, and I've never had any problems on HF. Like I just run this loop. I got a couple verticals that I made, but usually I just use this 560 foot loop with homemade ladder line, and I don't have any problems getting anybody anywhere. I'm not even running my amplifier now.
Where are you?
Southeast Alabama.
560 foot loop.
Yeah.
And you should be blasting in down here.
100 watts.
Okay, just 100 net.
Yeah, 100 watts from Alabama with a 560 foot loop is what I got.
That should be like like an S unit of the gain or something like that on this frequency.
Oh, at least. Why, you don't hear me good?
You're up, that's nice.
I got him an S8 here in St. Lucie.
Okay. Yeah, 9 here in Spring Hill. Huh?
Well, not too bad. I'm sure if I kicked the amplifier on it, it'd help a little, but I didn't think I needed it. But I was just copying the mail when I was making dinner.
Yeah.
I'm a cheap ham. Homemade antennas, homemade ladder line, broken amplifier, pre-broken amplifier, which is working now. That was Dentron and Dentron tuner used, and then I got this 7300 for barter for doing some tower work. So yeah, I don't spend too much money.
Yeah, and I got him S9 in Boca Raton. He's getting out, but yeah, 100 watts. Look, you gotta understand, and I tell everybody this. You're in Alabama, that's fantastic. You're making the trip, no problem, S9. We hear you. But everybody here in Florida, from Jacksonville, Tallahassee, down to Key West, we all hear each other 20 to 30 over. Roger?
Oh yeah, well, I might be up there if I kick the AirPod. But anyway, that's it. Like I have a hard time getting Chipley, Florida, about 65 miles away. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And off for the SARS net.
Well, you gotta get a big boy antenna. That's all there is to it. Good coax, man. Height is might. Antenna, coax for VHF, UHF, and you'll be able to do it, man. Well, you just the tram will do fine for you. Just crank it up there. Good coax, though. No RG8X.
No, I was thinking about using some 75 ohm coax. That's what I've been using. If it's no good, I'll get something else. And I do have RG8. If I do run, it'll probably be 25, 30-foot run. But I think I'm going to try see how the SWR is with the 75 ohm coax first.
Are you pulling my chain, man? Come on.
Yeah. I'm not pulling your chain. It's got low loss. I got a spool of it from what they run from the pole to the house. And actually, like if I had a vertical up, it came down.
This guy's whack.
Putting it back up on my 40-meter vertical quarter wave ground plane. I had a flat match with the 75 ohm coax because I can't slope the radio. I can't get it up high enough to slope the radios down at a 30-degree angle like old Stardust or CB antenna. So since the angle of the antenna isn't very much, it's about 30 ohms on a ground plane quarter wave. And using 75 ohm coax at a half wavelength, it gives me takes it from 1.5 SWR to a nothing.
Well, that's why you're not getting out on 2-meter UHF, VHF. That's why you're not getting out on UHF, VHF, because you're running 75 ohm coax.
Oh, it's not true. The SWR is good, and I got an analyzer. It's reading good, and you got to remember with the ladder line Slim Jim, you adjust the bottom for the SWR. It's just not made. I mean, it's cut for VHF. I get 125 miles on VHF, which ain't bad for something hanging out of the tree.
Yeah, so you're using a ladder line edge-pong type antenna. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah.
450 ohm. That's what I had. That's what I made it out of. KB2YEW. Anyways, somebody breaking in there. KI4YTV special ed over here in Alabama. KB2YEW. Get a KE2YEW. Go ahead.
Oh, you're talking to a coffee can.
I know. Kind of narrow on the audio.
QRP.
Yes, QRP station out of North Carolina.
He's QRP out of North Carolina. I don't know if you can hear him.
I heard that. But he didn't come back.
QRP station in South Carolina.
Okay. The van shifter, Davey still happy?
Okay.
So that's
okay, but I mean, on 40 meters at night, you're trying to get in there with 5 watts with QRP. That's going to be too rough and tough.
Yeah. It may not be able to join in.
Yeah, especially with audio like that, that's kind of jacked up a little bit, so you're these like 5 and 5 copies. Crank that power up a little bit.
Alright, yeah. Alright, good deal.
I didn't think he sounded too bad for QRP.
Not bad, huh? That's kind of amazing.
For QRP. Well, anyway, I ordered that antenna. It was $123 with the tax, so it's not bad. It shipped Home Depot. I always thought Lowe's made the best antennas, but maybe Home Depot will beat Lowe's. I got all my wire at Lowe's and Tractor Supply.
It's cheaper at a U.S. Army Navy store.
Yeah, to get wire and insulators.
Sound like the band just shifted.
Well, anyway, dinner's ready. I'll be copying the mail can for Ragchew handle special ready in Alabama. Here for FA, South Florida.
J. Mike Echo Mike, Central Florida.
This station's already on the frequency, talking way out the distance.
There's already... You're hearing stations, Dave?
Yeah, there's someone talking under you, Mark.
Okay. Oh, stand by.
Sounds like we already lost Taco's head, and Nick is already gone.
Yeah. Chad and Nick, both are gone.
Where'd Nick go? They're just being vaporized.
Actually, Nick may not be gone. He's off the next 2 days. So tonight's his Friday night. So there's likely to be a big party in the garage down there in Boca Raton tonight.
No, that was station was in there. Can't wait. You go ahead. I said, Mark, he probably went and refilled his mango spritzer.
Oh, that's where Nick went.
Probably, yeah. I gotta go refill my crown every now and then, you know, so hey, it makes sense. Yeah, but if it takes over 15 minutes, that's pretty much, he ain't coming back. Well, he may be dropping the Obamas off at the Super Bowl, you never know. The warden might be grabbing him by the back of the neck and telling him to do something also. Yeah.
Yeah. CMU? CMU?